No! No! Okay, that's a very expected death, because the ending to this level is so brutal. I'll talk about it at the end, but, like, Jesus Christ. Yes! Let's fucking go! Oh my god. So, for context, my fall break from college is like 5 days. Half of Friday, not even 5. Half of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then half of tomorrow. So it's really only like barely 4 days. And I really thought it was stupid to go for a second hardest in that short amount of time, especially since I only started this yesterday, because I did Brimtanic Paradise and beat that really fast. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go for an impossible level. And I actually managed to do it, which, Jesus Christ, alright. So yeah, overall that level is very fun. First of all, obviously, it is a 1.9 level, like Noxureta. But what this level does that Noxureta doesn't is it is a bit more true to Wasureta's gameplay and has very, very high CPS. I'd imagine Wasureta is a bit faster just because it's harder. Still, it's easily the highest CPS overall level that I have ever completed. So, yeah, that's an accomplishment. Overall, I'd say the level is in between Anahita and the Sulfur Sea. That seems to line up with what other people think. This level's kind of weird where a lot of it, like, this is gonna be one of my few complaints about this level. A lot of it is, like, maybe easy, medium, extreme demon difficulty. That's, like, maybe top 700, top 600 on the all-rated extreme demons list. But then there will be random-ass wave parts that are just, like, top 300, which, like, and they're not, like, that fun. It's, like, the most annoying-ass micro-clicks of all time, specifically thinking 33 and 61. Those were not great sections, so that's why the difficulty overall is around the average of those two. But other than that, pretty good. As I do for most of my completions now, go through each part and talk about what I liked, what I didn't. First part, what I really like about this part is it is not CPS heavy. It is, like, the clicks are very spaced out, enough that you can practice it and not have your hand hurt. And I know that Wasureta is the same thing. What I like about that is that playing the level, I spent 150 attempts from 0, my hand feels perfectly fine. Practicing the level, like doing runs from like 59 to 100, like I would barely be able to get past 77 to the end because my hand just hurt so much after grinding that part out. Probably made those runs a lot harder than they had to be. But with that, like, slow part at the beginning, like, you can calm down, and, like, it makes, like, the level, I could do this for another 1,000 attempts and I wouldn't feel anything. Which is awesome and really smart. The decoration at the beginning is nothing mind-blowing. It's only mind-blowing because it was done in 1.9, and even then it looks alright. It's not like Wasureta has, like, any, like, mind-blowing block deco or anything. Honestly, I think this level does it better, which is, like, insane, considering, again, this is a 1.9 level. But the first part isn't necessarily an example of that. Oh, also, I know that this is a manga collab, and each part was made by a different person. I know the first part has the name Henry in it, so I'm going to assume that's who made it. But I'm saying this because there's some parts where I know who made it, some parts where I don't, so I'm going to refer to those as that. But if you like any of the parts, please check out these creators. They did a great job, and I'm sure this level is like maybe 4 years old or something. I'm sure they have improved significantly. So yeah, please check them out, even if I don't refer to them by name. The next part, it's pretty fun, pretty consistent. This is the first part where you have the high CPS flow gameplay, and this part, for the most part, does it really well. The only part that I will complain about is, again, this part has one of those really micro-click wave parts, and this is probably the worst offender of them, just because it has 3 inputs, which is the most out of any of the other parts. It does get decently consistent, but it takes a lot of practice. Way more than any other part of the level that isn't wave. The part that I want to shout out specifically is the dual mini wave. I know it's also in Wasureta, so I guess this could also apply there, but that is really satisfying. Like, it's really easy, but it looks awesome. It's really simple. It's just 3 mini wave clicks on the bottom and top. It's like the most basic dual wave gameplay ever, but it looks awesome. And the block decoration is really good, especially for 1.9 standards. I mean, it's not the most impressive thing by today's standards, but 4 years ago, building a 1.9 level, it looks amazing. Now, I know I just complimented that, but I'm gonna say GrenadeofTacos part, which is the part after, looks even better. It is one of the best looking 1.9 parts that I've seen. The block design looks extremely slick, extremely polished, and one thing that you probably don't notice on like your first watch through is they have lightning. Like, it will randomly toggle between block design, then that will like fade away to a darker color and have lightning around it. Like, I mean, it seems like a 1.9 version of what's the level called? The Kulak 9 Circles level, I forgot what it's called. But obviously it's not as impressive as that because it's limited to 1.9. Take a shot every time I say 1.9, you're gonna die. And also, like, the gameplay, that part is so consistent and so fun. It's probably the easiest part just because it's really consistent and also it doesn't have any bullshit wave gameplay. The only time I would ever really die to that from zero is the straight fly at the end, which is entirely a skill issue, so you can't really get mad at that. The next part, the block deco isn't as good. Obviously, I just said the block deco and GrenadeofTacos part is my favorite in this level, so obviously. That doesn't mean it's bad, though. I feel like it does a good job capturing Wasureta in 1.9 style. It does its job. That's what I'm saying. This part is strangely bright, considering Wasureta is a very dark level. So that's interesting. It's not a bad thing. I think that it splits up the parts really well, like nice. It adds a bit of uniqueness to this part of the level, and it doesn't look the exact same all the way through. And the gameplay is mostly good for everything except what I'm going to talk about right now. So there is a wave part. Other people's completions have said this is their hardest part. I feel like it was a bit more consistent than some of the other wave parts, maybe just because I practiced it a lot, maybe just because I could do it consistently in 2 clicks instead of 3, which is required, or what was intended. But yeah, then after that, there's this pretty annoying ball part. The reason it's annoying is entering it, there is a slope, and if you click after the slope, you're going to be in the air for like a millisecond, and that kills you pretty regularly. I've died to that at least twice from zero, and at least 10 million times in practice. I mean, like, I know it's a 1.9 level, you can't just place invisible blocks, D blocks for the wave before, but like there are still substitutes you can do. Like, you can use like those half invisible blocks that fade away when you get close. to make that a full block, or you could like do some inverted slope shenanigans to make it like the part look like almost identical, but there's a full hitbox there. Might be annoying to like learn that it's there, but it would really make it a more consistent part. Other than that, I didn't really have any problems with that part. So the next part, Cerzia's part, that part is mostly good. My one complaint is that those 4 sets of 2 really close together clicks that sync with the music, I hope that description was good enough. Those are really difficult. Not necessarily the first 2, but the last 2 are extremely hard. That yellow orb is a really tight timing, and then there's another quick wave. They are learnable. They did get decently consistent. Like I died to it twice from 0 or so, but like you do learn. Oh, you have to click the one with the yellow orb extremely fast, even faster than I thought initially, and the wave you have to click really early to avoid hitting the saw with a giant ass hitbox. Those parts are hard, but they're learnable, so they're just slightly unbalanced, but other than that, they're fine. That's one thing I really like about this level. Most parts are, like, they're hard, but they're learnable. So even if they're a bit more difficult than the rest of the level, you can learn the part, and it's not, like, bullshit, die there half the time for who knows. And Cerzia's part looks really good. The part after this also looks fairly decent decoration-wise. Nothing, like, blowing me away, obviously. Again, take a shot, 1.9 level. But still, it gets the job done. It's good, nice on the eyes. Gameplay-wise, there is another really fast wave part. It gets kind of consistent, but you still die a lot, and it's like, it has something to do with how you enter the part, and it's like, what the fuck? And also the UFO after, you have to click so fast, but that's more of a skill CPS issue than a gameplay issue. The one part that does stick out to me that is kind of stinky is there's this wave click followed by a orb and a ball portal, like at the very end of the level, and you have to, there's a very short window between releasing the wave and hitting the yellow orb. Honestly, it's more just me complaining about a part being hard rather than it being bad, but I would find that annoying, so take that how you will. When I died to 90, I said I would talk about this, so I will. The ship at the end is absolutely evil. It's not, like, bad by any means. A lot of RETA levels do this, and I think it's more like Jonathan's ending to, like, Future Funk or something, where it's, like, evil but not, like, bad gameplay or anything. Where you have this, like, super fast, wrist-destroying CPS gameplay for, like, over 30 seconds beforehand, and then you're immediately thrown into this, like, precise control ship when your hand is just dying. Like, the ship part on its own is really easy, but after, like, all of that, it's so hard. I like the ending, but still. So yeah, those are all the parts. Hopefully I didn't talk for too long. Hopefully this video is under 30 minutes for a 59-second level. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna waste any of more of your time. Recommend you play it if you have the skill for it. Also, I think that other people have obviously said this. I think it should definitely be rated. The only reasons I can think it's not is because it uses a Nong, but it's the same Nong as Wasureta, so I'm sure that's not too much of an issue, because Wasureta's rated, and it's a 1.9 GDPS level, and that was published, I think, before RobTop started rating a lot of them. So I'm sure if this came out, like, a year or two later, around, like, when Sync got rated, and other 1.9 levels would start to get rated, then it would definitely just also be rated. And what the fuck am I talking about? Sync also has a Nong, so, like, there's no reason this shouldn't be rated. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna shut up now. Goodbye.